Okay. Hello. You want to check with, do you want to check with the ladies over there and see if they can hear? Oh, did he? Okay, thank you. Got it. We got video. Hey, hey. Good to go? Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen. All right. Without further ado, welcome to the Board of Supervisors regular meeting. It's July 29th, 2025. We are going to meet today, so I will call this meeting to order. Will you join me, please, in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic
for which it
stand
one nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Okay. First up, approved meeting minutes dated July 15th, 2025.
Madam Chair, I'll move item number 3.
Seconded.
Motion is second. Any question or comments on the minutes? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next up is to approve the agenda.
I'll second.
Motion is second. Any questions or comments on the agenda? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next up is approve consent agenda.
Madam Chair, I would move item number 5.
I'll second.
For moving it. Any questions or comments on the consent agenda? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Item 6, receive and place on file certification of taxes for year 2024, collectible in fiscal year 2025 to 2026.
I'll move item number 6. I'll second it.
Motion and a second. Any questions or comments? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Item 7, allow 2024 homestead tax credits.
I'll move item 7.
Seconded.
Second on item 7. Any questions or comments? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Item 8, receive and place on file Webster County Treasurer's Bank reconciliation.
Chair, so moved.
I will second.
A motion and a second. Any questions or comments? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Item 9, receive and place on file the Webster County Treasurer's Office semi-annual report.
Madam Chair, I'd move item number 9.
I'll second.
Second, Mrs. Angstrom, hi.
Good morning, Brenda Engstrom, Webster County Treasurer. Okay, our semi-annual report consists of 54 funds. I usually talk about the 3 funds that affect the treasurer's office the most, the investing of the county funds. And this year, our investments have from 2024 to this year, they have increased by, I can hear myself over there.
Oh, good.
They have increased by $267,825.76. With last year, the full year of 2024, we received a total of $892,222.90. And this year, just in the first half of the last half of the year, it was $753,892.79. So that was the difference there. In our motor vehicle, we have our Fund 5010 has also increased because, as we remember, in January 1 of 2025, we started collecting more funds for that would stay into the county. And we also are doing titling for any county in the state of Iowa. And according to the state report, we have increased by 56%. Bringing in our road use tax, we had in that last 6 months of the year, we increased by, oh, I'm sorry, my reports are a little weird there. With our three funds all together, we have a total amount of $423,567.41. We have increased in 6 months. So that's showing us what we're going to do for the next year. I'm hoping is double that and bring in that much more revenue into the county. It's looking great right now. We have increased our titles by a small amount that we are doing with, sorry, like I said, 56% is what the state has come up with on our end. And we do have dollar amount and total amounts on everything. If you would like to see all those totals, Mindy's done a wonderful spreadsheet for me that shows everything that we have collected. So it's looking good on our end, I guess I would say. Any questions on all that?
Yeah, can you explain, I know we've talked about this before, but for the general public, can you explain why the change in the auto fund for the extra money that's coming in because we're able to collect those fees?
Okay, the Treasurers Association has been working since I became treasurer in 2019. We were working on trying to keep more funds into our counties. We were only getting like $1.50 for a title and, very small amount. So we did request to the legislature for many years that we would get to collect more. So now just for one title, we collect $10 extra for the title fee and $10 more we get to keep into our county for lien. And then also on the road use tax, we get a more percentage on that also. Am I missing something? Another $10 on that. So with each title, we could be bringing in an extra $30 for each title to where before if we were lucky, we're getting $5 for each
Right.
title. So that is the increase. Yes, the taxpayers are also seeing that increase, but the increase that they're paying now, they can think, that's staying in our county, that's staying with us. So it's money that we can use in Webster County. It's not all going to the state now. And that is why you're seeing such a big increase. And it's nice to see. It is something, like I said, we've worked on for many years and finally got it through.
Great. Thank you so much. Any other questions for Ms. Engstrom? All right, thank you. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Next up, item 10, consider request from Webster County Treasurer Brenda Engstrom to move treasurer office back to the bank building.
Chair will move item number 10.
I will second that.
Second?
Okay, this is something, of course, as we all know, started back when we were doing our project over here in the courthouse and we moved over to the bank building for a year. The convenience for the customer was awesome. And we have on a daily basis at least 2 to 3 people that ask us when we are going back. The convenience of the drive-through. And not only for the customer, we had the banks in Fort Dodge that would drop things off to us, and they liked being able to drive through and drop things off. Dealers would use that drive-through. I know employees of the county that use that and the convenience of it, they raved about it. And it is something that really helped those like elderly, handicapped that could not get out of their vehicle and get up to the building as easy. They were able to use that drive-through. The access for handicap is a lot better over there than what it is over here at the courthouse for them. They have the little ramp to go in. And I'm trying to think of some of the other things that we have a lot of pros and cons that we have come up with. The noise level, like in our office now, we have the 4 stations the four stations that everyone stands at. And while we're all trying to wait on our customers, that's one of the reasons we wanted the glass removed from our office, is they can't hear us. And so we're speaking over each other to the point where sometimes we have to stop waiting on our customer so that other people can hear us. And also there's a lot of privacy on the motor vehicle side that we have to protect for our customers. There's the purchase price. We have stops on there, and the stops come from like the Department of Revenue, clerk of court, driver's license. And I mean, these are all things that are protected for the customer, and not just for the customer, for all of us. I mean, people do not want their information to get out there. And it was a lot more private over there when people come in and they lost a spouse or, you know, a family member, and they're trying to do that business. They liked the convenience of having that area where they could speak to us and not everybody around them was hearing everything they were saying to us. I talked about the drive-through and the parking, and there are already cameras over in that office in place, like we have here in our office here. That is very, we use those more than what people know. The cameras are a great access for us and for customers or the DOT. They'll call us and ask us for information on those cameras, you know, from a transaction that happened, and we're able to send them the footage of the customer that was that they're investigating. There's a lot of things that benefit us with the cameras also. Since this has went on the agenda, I have been approached that there are a few things that would need to be repaired in the building, and Nathan and I have spoke about those that we would want to be repaired before we moved over there. I had discussed with my staff maybe not moving until right before tax season in March of next year, so we can get these things taken care of. And also just a few cosmetic things that we would need. I mean, all I would request is that maybe some paint to update the paint in there. There's wallpaper falling and things like that. And the 3 staff members that I have that will be out in that open area, just get those dividers with like a little window in it so they can see what's going on. But the 3 that will be out there, we need something to protect them because they work with the banks. They work with a lot of our account numbers that we don't want be seen by the public. And I'd have to get some chairs for my staff that'll be sitting behind the teller stations, some comfortable ones. The ones we used over there before were a little wobbly and, you know, they had been around for a while. And then maybe just clean the carpet, and we'd have to have protectors on the windows. And that's the only things I would want to request. We have to have it to keep the heat out because of our printers all line up along those windows. And that was the way we had it set up when we were there for the year. It was really nice to have those printers right there because they're right by us. We use them constantly in every transaction that we do. And sometimes the heat would affect those and they would stop or they would jam. Those are the only few things I would request that we could do. And I thought maybe, you know, with that little bit of extra money that treasurer's office is bringing in, if we could use a little bit of that to help us out.
I do have a question, and I'm sorry. I know we talked prior to the meeting about this, but it just occurred to me. What are your concerns about security? I know here they go through rigorous security on the way in. So are you concerned about that at all?
The security has came up, and I had talked to Luke before when we were over there for that the time we were over there before, and Luke would have one of the guys come over periodically and check in with us. The main time would be like our big tax seasons, you know, when we have more cash flow, to have someone come over there. And as long as they don't have court or anything going on here, Luke was fine with that. And also we had spoke with the detectives that are right behind a door right behind us. And they said if we ever needed anything, we just put a tap on the door and they would come out to help us also. And I know when we were over there before, the detectives every once in a while would walk through there, which was really nice. And we also have Darren there. He can come run over and help us. But yes, it was a concern of ours. It is something that we did discuss as an office because, having that security there has really made a tremendous amount of difference in the way some of the customers treat us. But we know there's protection there if we need it. And we do have the guys' phone number downstairs, the bailiffs, that we could call if it was a situation we could see was starting to get out of hand, and we would give them a call and they would come right over. We did use that last time we were over there too, and it worked really well.
Right. Thank you.
My biggest concern with the building, I don't know if part of what you talked about, Nathan, is the heating and cooling situation. Because right now, the bank of detectives, they've had no air conditioning all summer. So because the cooling units don't work very well in that building at all, and Brad's office hasn't worked for about a year. They've had to come in, replace and fix, and it leaks about every week. We just went 3 weeks where he couldn't use his office because it rains down from those cooling units above. So I know I talked to Nathan about that, and he's talking to Johnson Controls, because just putting a Band-Aid on it every time something leaks, then the next one down the line plugs and crashes the ceiling tiles. Actually, right now, since they couldn't get the AC fixed for the detectives in Larry's office, I bought a portable AC unit, and it's venting into the space you want to take over right now. So it's blowing hot air in.
So it's blowing hot air.
It's blowing hot air into there because there's no other way with the windows and the brickwork. The windows don't open. That's our temporary fix, instead of letting all those people work from home. And I was close to having to let Brad work from home, but Nathan got on Johnson Controls, who then went and fixed it. It's been working for 3 days now. I'm hoping. So my biggest concern for you would be heating and cooling, because that whole system, I think, probably needs to be replaced, because the building is from the early 80s, I think. And I was actually thinking, if you moved over, I might want to get out of the building and take over your space, but I don't think it's quite large enough. If it was a little larger, I've got 12 people, but that's my concern. Because yeah, like I said, Nathan and I had a talk, because it's got to be fixed, like replaced, I think, at some point, because those cooling units just continually plug, and I can't have like my litigators and my detectives' offices. No AC. I mean, we're fine in the winter. Usually the heat works. For some reason, the AC plugs all the time and then starts raining down on top of the desks.
And Nathan and I did discuss that. And that was one of the reasons why I said, we'll have to drag it out longer to see what it's going to take to get everything working. And we'll address it again when it gets, closer to when the moving actual date would be, if it's feasible.
You use with the drive up, does that have the canisters that use the vacuum stuff that you go to all the banks, or?
Actually, the one we used was that main one. We didn't use the others. So I don't know if we would want to start using those, or if we just want to stick with that first one, because the first one, it is nice, because most of the time, like dealers and the bankers, they have a large sum of paper that would never fit in one of those.
No, and that's the only reason I ask, is we've got some things that we would need to address right away. But, to me, when I think of, maintenance down the road, that if we did use that system, that would impact the budget a little bit, or, what preventative maintenance do we need to do on that system, or, what's the status of it? Because I don't think we've used it. So that's why I was curious if I couldn't remember if you used it before or not. And I mean, if we wouldn't plan to use it, then I wouldn't be too worried about that. But if that is something that we would want to use down the road, that's something we'd have to consider, as possibly a fixed expense for us at some point to maintain that system.
With the
Used it.
smaller staff that I have, I don't think it would work to use more of those, because then I'd be pulling too many people from the counter to be able to do that. Using that first one was wonderful, and it would go through really nice, and you can put anything in there because it's the main one. So it's the bigger box that everything would go in. And that's all we used the whole time we were over there before. And we were perfectly fine with that, because that plus waiting the counter gets to be a lot also. So it would usually be one of us that were sitting out front that would come up and try to help with the drive-through and everything. But it is very convenient for the customers, and everybody that used it. I mean, it was real nice. So the other treasurers, when I'd go to the meetings and told them, they were a little jealous. They liked that I had that option, and they're like, I wonder if there's a bank I can move into.
I just didn't know if that was something, I couldn't remember. I didn't think we used it before, so I just figured I would ask. 'Cause I couldn't
Yes, we did.
remember, so.
Just the one.
Just,
Yeah.
no, well, I mean like the.
None
whole
of the
package,
others. No, none of the others.
I know did you have something else you were
Nope.
going to say? One of the things I know we had kind of talked about yesterday was the verbiage on this is consider request. Mr. Driscoll, I know you and I spoke, and what is your, is this something that we need to
I don't-
vote on today or just give the blessing to do
I think
it?
we just kind of wanted to talk about it. I don't know. I mean, you can't take official action. I don't know that this really requires official action. I would just say if you're interested in that and it's not like next week. I mean, we've got plenty of time to put something on the agenda for official action. But this kind of fleshes out what you're looking for, what the benefits are, what some of the potential cons are that we might need to get repaired for that building, which would be fantastic if we could get it repaired for you, because I know that drive-through worked great. And then also potentially have an opportunity to make the cooling system function properly. I know the health department has issues with the cooling system too upstairs. But I don't think we need to take action today, other than continue to investigate it and look into it.
May I ask if anybody has any big red flags that would prohibit this on this table?
I would just want to know what what we would, kind of an estimate of what we would expect all the expenses to get it move-in ready would be, I guess would be my only ask. It's just so that I know, I'm fine. I like it. I know I heard a lot of great feedback for it. I would just want to know, like, what do we expect the actual cost to be to go, like with the repairs and the updates and things we need to do, just so that I know
And
what that.
regardless of their move, that cooling system.
I was just gonna say, I don't think I think the
gonna-
main cost is going to
No,
be
I-
that heating and cooling, and that needs to be done no matter what. So yes, I understand what you're saying, but yes, I agree with Darren. It is something that's gonna be our main expense, is to get the heating and cooling that I wasn't, aware of, that we were in that kind of a situation. But I agree with Darren. That is something that needs to be fixed no matter what. So
No, I'm talking more of like secondary to that, like the cosmetic stuff, anything else
Oh,
that would not
okay.
be,
I can get an
that's going to be
estimate for
part of
that.
the things that we're going to have to fix
Yeah,
regardless,
you
but
just put together kind of a punch list of the things you want, and then you can.
Yeah.
As you get closer, put it out for bid, or, get an estimate.
yeah.
I think the only thing that we'd really have to worry about is the painting. I think that'd be the only thing that we would really have to bid out, because I mean, couldn't Johnson or our cleaning now, couldn't they do the cleaning of the carpet? I think they,
Yeah.
yeah, my little cubicles, I've already looked those up. I can, yeah.
No, that's why I say like just all that other stuff.
Art.
Just to-
I'm getting there, Austin. I've got it ready to roll.
Oh, no, I know. Just something for us, that, like I said, I've heard a lot of great feedback on it, and I don't have any like real heartburn over it. But I just want to make sure, is there anything else as you go through that we might need? So just so that we can understand just, what some of those other costs, obviously like the AC and stuff, I think is secondary, because that's going to be needed for everybody else irregardless.
And if you wanted to look at an ongoing security position.
Yeah.
I mean, as opposed to on occasion, busy season. I mean,
Or
that would
panic button?
that would be at least an
Yep.
option to know what the cost of that would be. So you
Yep.
could consider that as a possibility, because it would be
Right.
nice. You never know when somebody's going to come in and
You
be
don't,
upset and
right.
cause a disturbance. It'd be nice to have.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I know this has been on your mind
Since we moved back. Well,
since you moved back.
yeah, that's why my deputies are here today for backup
Yeah.
if they needed to.
Yep. And I just really appreciate all the time and effort that you've really thought this through all the way. So thank you very much for that. I don't think we need to take a vote, do we? Okay, so thank you very much. ma'am.
Thank you for
Appreciate
listening.
it.
And I'll
Absolutely.
continue to hound you about it. So
I would expect nothing less.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, item 11, approve and allow the chair to sign an agreement for Office 365 backup with Heartland Business Systems.
So moved.
Seconded.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Hi. This is the real reason you're here. All right, just announce yourself, sir.
Andy Miguel, the Webster County IT Director. So a few years ago, we made the big switch to on-prem Exchange email system to Office 365. Along with that, We also have the option, where we're using the options of OneDrive and eventually down the road SharePoint. And so, we are using some of the SharePoint, but mostly OneDrive. But anyway, you think of a big company as Microsoft, that they would be so gracious to back it up for you, but they really don't. It's a best effort type situation. So, and since email is our primary mode of communication between counties and other businesses and stuff, we felt that would be best to have that taken care of. So this is a yearly expense. Unfortunately, everything's gone to subscription. It is, it's not something that it's a one and done like we used to have, like we used to back in the old days. And I can say old days because I've been here 28 years. So this is in our budget. We did budget for it last year. And so, but we do need you to sign it because there is language and stuff in here that the board needs to approve. So any questions? This does cover all of our mailboxes that we currently are licensed at this time. So
This is an annual.
this is an annual renewal. Pretty much anything that we're going to get anymore from the IT side, it's going to be subscription based. Nobody wants us to do a perpetual licensing anymore. They want everything to be subscription. So unfortunately, that is the model that everybody's going to. Eventually, everybody's going to force us to start using the cloud for everything. Tyler is really pushing that. There's some counties that are getting ready to do that. So the subscription fees is where they make their money, and they figured that out. So unfortunately, we're stuck if we want to use their services, and we don't really have a choice in this matter. So we've gone 2-3 years without this, and it's time we better do something. We've been lucky. We do have an archiving system that we use for emails, but it's for only emails only. So
Okay.
All right.
All right, thank you, sir.
All right.
Any other questions or comments? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 12, receive and place on file Webster County Recorder's report of fees collected for the quarter ending June 30th, 2025, per the recommendation of Courtney Balcanendi, Webster County Deputy Recorder.
Madam Chair, so moved.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Ms. Balcanendi, hi.
Well, good morning. I'm Courtney Balcanendi, Deputy Recorder. I'm just going to run through some numbers of what we brought in for the past quarter for only the county. This does not include state figures, which are much higher. So basically for our total recording fees, we brought in $30,237.21. So that's recording documents, and that's $5 per page. That's how it accumulates. Our surcharge, which is also a part of our documents, it's $1 per page for surcharge. So we have $1,459. Our copies, which that's Xerox copies as well as extract updates for our abstract companies, that's $1,474. We also have our auditor transfer fees. That's what we collect when we take fees for documents, and we give it to the auditor's office for them to actually execute those transfers. That was $3,135. Then we have our transfer tax. That's the tax paid at the time of real estate transaction. And that's $18,272.86. Then we have our rivers, and that's recreational vehicles and vessels. That's $5,677. Elsie, and that's our hunting and fishing licenses. We took in $37.50. And finally, our vital records. So that's birth, death, marriage certificates, as well as marriage applications, $4,616. Our grand total of $64,908.57 was paid to the county treasurer.
Wonderful. Well done.
Questions?
Thank you. Any questions or comments? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Thank you so much. Item 13, accept and place on file bids to replace the expired Webster County Sheriff's Office CERT helmets. The bids were as follows: Colorado Gunfighter, $15,106.54. Mets Tactical LLC, $29,500.80. Western Slope MFG, $24,988.28.
Madam Chair, I'd move item 13.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Next up, item 14, authorize Webster County Sheriff Luke Fleener to purchase CERT tactical helmets from lowest bid, Colorado Gunfighter.
Madam Chair, I'll move item number 14.
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments?
Madam Chair, I did check with the chief deputy in reference to the difference in cost on these. I was assured that the Colorado gunfighter bid also has new comms and up to and is better than what they have as we speak. So it was a good replacement.
Great, I appreciate that. Any other questions and comments or comments? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Thank you. Item 15, approve the purchase of the right-of-way for project MFTSF C094142-5B-94.
Madam Chair, I'll move item 15.
Second.
Motion in a second. Mr. Joel, hello.
Hello, Jamie Joel, County Engineer. So this item is for temporary construction easements and small tracts of permanent right-of-way for the traffic circle project at D14 and P56. The city/airport owns 3 legs of that intersection, so most of this is from them. There are 2 other property owners. You just want to take 1 second to point out, you look at the plats, you'll notice the seal on there. In 2019, my assistant county engineer left to become the Hamilton County engineer. He was also a licensed surveyor. Since then, we have been without a licensed surveyor, so I just wanted to take a second to congratulate Jeffrey Fox here on our staff. He recently passed his state and national exams and became a professional land surveyor.
Hey,
You no longer have to pay
congratulations.
somebody to put their seal on these.
Hey, nice. Anything else? Jeffrey, would you like to say a few words? I thought I'd give you the opportunity at the very least. All right. All right. Any other questions or comments on item 15? All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Thank you. Item 16, approve resolution 2025-33 to establish a speed limit on Hayes Avenue between 105th Street and 175th Street.
Madam Chair, so moved.
Second.
Motion in a second. Any questions or comments? Mr. Joel?
This is Hayes Avenue, north of Highway 7. Highway 7 is 190th Street. This is half mile north of there, up to 175th Street. It's a winding gravel road with the ravine on the east side of it. So yeah, we're just proposing to change the speed limit from 55 miles per hour down to 35 miles per hour. Hi.
Hi, please state your name and where you live, sir.
Daniel Myers, Webster County resident at 175th and Hayes.
Okay.
And the speed limit is currently 30 miles per hour there. There is a sign at the top of the North Hill.
That's a advisory speed
Okay.
limit, so it's recommended. but
Okay.
not-
Okay. But in addition to that, I'm recommending or asking for barriers to be put up on the east side of the North Hill and the west side of the South Hill. There's a huge drop off on both of those areas.
There are, we've had some
Would you please come closer to the mic?
issues in that, along that stretch of road. So there's not a whole lot of room along the shoulder to put barriers, especially standards. And then cost obviously is another issue. Not saying it's impossible to do, but it would be expensive and not very easy. Putting barriers in also requires maintenance.
Speak a little louder, please.
Sorry, yeah, it could become a maintenance issue. I know there was some cable guardrail there. The cable was removed out of it 20 plus years ago, 78.
Got a bulldozer in there to clean the road and it pushed everything over the side. And then that road.
Sir, if you'd like to speak, I'd ask that you come to the microphone and say who you are and where you live, please. Thank you.
I'm Daniel Meyer Senior,
Okay.
and I live north of that on the corner. I've been there for 50 years. And back when he was little, we couldn't get up and down those hills. They were sheer ice. And we called up the county. You know what they told us? We don't gravel roads. So then they came through and they changed the lines in there. And there was a little bit of a dirt barrier on the one side on that south hill. So if you slid, you'd slid up against the dirt. No, they wanted the water to drain off the road. So they came in and they cut all that out. So if you stand on the side of that road, you can look straight down and hear water running. You understand?
It's about the height of the courthouse at the drop.
Okay.
What's a life worth?
My concern here in this conversation is we're talking about changing the speed limit and you're talking about something completely
Speed
different.
limit isn't going to do nothing.
Well, that's exactly what I'm saying. We're talking about speed limit and for the purposes of this board and this vote, we need to talk just about speed limit. Now, if you want to come back during the Board of Supervisors or not, I'm sorry, the citizens opportunity, that is probably where this conversation would be better to have because we're talking about the same tract of land, but it's a completely separate issue that we will be voting on now. Do you
I
understand?
was talking to the neighbor about this and he said the county foreman had told him they were going to put a guardrail in. But I don't know.
Okay, do you have any issues with changing the speed limit from what it
It
is to
don't make no
35?
difference. They're going to come through
Okay.
there as fast as they want anyway.
Okay. All right.
You might as well take the stop signs out at our corner too, because nobody stops.
Thank you.
Aside from the speed limit issue, I'll look into what it would take, get some quotes on putting some guardrail in there.
Okay.
I mean, just because we're changing the speed limit doesn't mean that has to be a dead issue.
Okay.
To confirm, you said that you would reach back out to them regarding the other matters that don't have to do with the speed limit?
Yes.
Is that what you just said? Okay, just wanted to make sure it was, okay. Any questions or comments?
I would just encourage the other, John Cochran, I would just encourage the other supervisors to go out there and just check out what the drop is. So you know what they're talking about. It is a pretty steep drop off. So I understand their concerns. Yeah. And at least reducing the speed limit will help a little and we can move forward from there.
What about the county liability? If somebody comes down there and slips over that and falls down and gets killed, you think there ain't going to be a lawsuit?
Right, sir, but what I'm saying to you is that we are voting on the speed
Right,
limit right
I
now.
understand that.
Right, okay. And
Also-
from what I understand, Jamie is going to look into the issues that you're bringing up now that don't have to deal with the speed limit. And we'll get back to you on them. Is that correct?
Also, as far as the alcohol plants, there's a lot of semis that use that road. Now,
Okay,
what happens if they get halfway up the hill and lose traction?
well, it sounds like limiting the speed limit, which is what we're voting on, is a good idea. And you would agree with that, correct?
It ain't gonna help.
Okay.
A tractor went over the side a few years ago. Mike Kraus lost a trailer and a four-wheel drive John Deere tractor over the north hill. And I don't know what he ever did about that. I'd been suing him then.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Any other questions or comments? All right, all those in favor, oops, it's a roll call.
Vote aye.
Cochran, I.
Okay.
Montgomery, aye.
Conrad, aye. Let it be known that the resolution passes unanimously. Thank you. Item 17, approve resolution 2025-34 to vacate an alley in Burnside.
Madam Chair, I'd move item 17.
Second.
Second, Mr. Joel.
Yeah, this was requested by a citizen. It's just pretty simple. It's an alley that's platted, but it's never been built or improved. Basically, it's just grass backyard for most of these people along here. So all of the landowners adjacent have been contacted and are all in favor of doing this. So
Any questions or comments? All right, it's a roll call vote.
Vote aye.
Cochran, aye.
Ike, aye.
Montgomery, aye.
Aye, let it be known the resolution passes unanimously. Thank you very much. Next up is item 18, appoint Webster County Recorder position.
Madam Chair, I'll move that we appoint Courtney, sorry if I don't get your last name perfect here, Balkanendi, to the county recorder position.
I will definitely second that.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments?
I guess maybe before we go on with that, make sure we discuss like the steps that went into getting to this decision where we're at so that the general public know that.
Absolutely. Good point, sir. So as we know, on July 14th, we published notice that we had an intent to fill the vacancy of the office of Webster County Recorder by appointment. The notice was given pursuant to Iowa Code Section 69.14A. And so we asked that applicants either submit a cover letter and resume to the Webster County Auditor's Office by email or in person, or by applying online through the Webster County application website. And the deadline to submit the required paperwork was last Friday at 4 p.m. At that time, we had 18 candidates, 4 of whom did not reside in Webster County, so they were automatically disqualified from the process. We reviewed all of the applications and the resumes. I called references on some that seemed interesting to me. But I think, and I hope we can all agree that one candidate rose to the top of the list. And that is our current deputy recorder and interim county recorder, Courtney Balkanendi. She has done exceptional work in the recorder's office. She has attended Iowa State Association of County meetings. She's educated on this topic. She has followed former recorder Lindsay Lofesweiler in her shoes and got a heck of a training there and has fulfilled those requirements. So it makes sense to me, and I'm proud to say that I support Courtney Balkanendi for a Webster County recorder as well. That being said, I do have to note this. The electors of Webster County do have the right to file a petition requiring the vacancy be filled by special election. It must be filed with the county auditor within 14 days after this first publication, which is today, or within 14 days after this appointment is made. So the voters of Webster County have 14 days after today to submit a petition for a special election. This said petition shall include signatures of eligible electors of the county equal in number to at least 10% of the votes cast in Webster County for the office of President of the United States in the November 2024 election. If you have any questions, I'm sure the auditor and the county attorney would be glad to answer those as far as petitions go. But in the meantime, I would like this, if I may, to be a roll call vote.
Vote aye.
Cochran, aye.
Ike, aye.
Montgomery, aye.
Conrad, aye. Let it be known that the appointment has been made unanimously to appoint Courtney Balkanendi as the Webster County Recorder. Do you have any comments, or would you just like to sit there? Okay. It's a lot all at once, so thank you very much. We will need to have a swearing in that will happen at a future date. We are going to be trying to get a hold of one of the judges in Webster County to officiate at that, and we'll get back to you and to the public for when that will be, okay? All right, great. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
All right, hard to top that. Citizens' opportunity to address the board with items not on the agenda. Did y'all want to talk again or? Yeah, you can go right ahead.
Well,
Well, you got, but the only thing is you got to come up to the
I've been
microphone.
talking to him too, and
Okay, great.
he is going to look into that, at
Okay.
what they can do. But I just want to point out, it is a very big safety issue on both hills, not just one. And it really does need to be addressed.
You are at, what is the,
It's between 175th and 185th Street. And seriously, if you just drive out there, park your car and walk up the side of that hill looking over, you'll see exactly what I mean.
all right,
Both sides, south and north.
on Hayes Avenue.
Hayes Avenue at 175th to 185th.
All right, I'll make the trek out there. How you doing with, do you have electricity after last
Oh, yeah.
night's?
Yeah, we had
You're
some leaks
good?
down, nothing too bad.
Okay,
The night before, you'd hear a lot more than last night.
yeah, I thought so too. Okay.
All
Did
right.
you want to say anything else, sir? You sure? Okay.
He's pretty vocal.
All right, I know, and I appreciate that. There's no other way for us to know about it without folks coming in, so appreciate it. Anyone else, citizens' opportunity to address the board? All right, next up, Board of Supervisors Committee reports. Mr. Supervisor Thode, I should say.
I have a CFR meeting. As we all heard, all these horrible and terrible things about the air conditioning at the bank building. Well, believe it or not, that's not the only building that we have this issue with. We've blown at least 3 compressors on air conditioning units in at least 2 other buildings. The coils, it's all getting old. We know it. It's not even going to discuss the leaking roof next door. I think we've got that under control. So we do have some other issues out there that we're dealing with, trying to get fixed, and it's been a tough one. I'll probably be replacing 2 air conditioning units over at the DHS building. I think 1 unit will have to be here, so I think that should take the priority over the bank building.
Fighting words.
We'll get them all going at the same time. So
Can we get a bulk discount for air conditioners?
I'm to the point where we're gonna start having to
The
go
lowest bidder.
Yeah, that's
do a local and do it. I think we might be able to get it done faster, so. But yeah, there's been, air conditioning has not been our friend the last month and a half, so. I think I will not dwell on that subject any longer.
Supervisor Cochran.
All right, so I had 3 meetings out at the landfill. They have a plan to continue the dump for the next 15 years on the property they currently own. And then they have a plan to get more land within the next 15 years. They got the money set aside, so the dump looks like it's going to be good for the next 15 to 30 years. A lot of trees have fallen down. And just a reminder, they got a burn pile out there at the dump. Go ahead and bring your stuff in, get that burned and taken care of. As far as Midas goes, the Jefferson line will continue. They are in negotiations to restructure how that's being financed. So citizens of Fort Dodge will continue to be able to get to the Jefferson line and get out of Fort Dodge and beyond by bus. There are negotiations with Prestige to continue the bus service out there. We'll see how that goes. And there's some concern that Midas is the sort of organization that might get pegged as double dipping and providing double services that are already provided by other government services. So there's some concern that Midas might get caught up in the Iowa Doge efforts. And then for CICS, they are continuing to work out their 28Es with all the counties. Again, there's 44 of them and they're getting their staffing under control. And that is it for my stuff.
Cool. Supervisor Hike.
So last week we had our department head meeting, so very grateful for all of our department heads that come to that. We have very meaningful conversations. It helps drive our county government forward, which is incredibly helpful. So I'm very proud of the team we have doing that. Coming up this week, not a lot this week for me. Next week on Monday, I'll be sitting in on the water quality report with Central Iowa Source Water Resource Assessment that was put out by the Harkin Institute. So I'll be sitting in on that report next Monday night. And then next week we'll have our City County Growth Alliance meeting as always. And it's always a fun and exciting thing to sit in on and be a part of. And so That's all I got.
A lot of folks worried about water quality, so I appreciate it. Supervisor Montgomery.
Upper Des Moines meeting tonight, 5 o'clock across the street, and then be here at 6 o'clock for the EMS workshop. So looking forward to that.
Abrams, do you have anything to add? No. Mr. Driscoll?
No.
Be quiet. You have anything to add? No? Okay. I just wanted to thank everyone for another successful state volleyball tournament that happened out in Harlan and Hazel Rogers. Did I say volleyball?
So
Did I really say volleyball?
It's okay.
they're taking on new sports.
It's really.
You're like,
popular.
yes.
Get the
Softball.
Around the bases.
I even have it written down as softball tournament. See, I got distracted by a little cutie pie over here. And so wanted to just thank the loads of people and volunteers that make that happen. Additionally, we had yet another successful Webster County Fair. So I wanted to thank everyone out at the fairgrounds, everyone in 4-H, everyone who volunteered and helped and participated in that. Two really wonderful events that bring a lot of folks into Webster County who may not come otherwise. So we really appreciate that very much. As Supervisor Montgomery said, we do have the EMS workshop tonight at 6 p.m. in this room. So for folks who are unaware, we are going to meet as a board and invite the folks from the EMS Advisory Council here to talk about our 28E agreements and how the funding is going to work, what that's going to look like. 28Es are agreements between governmental entities on stuff that happens. So basically it's going to be who gets what money. So we'll be talking about that at 6 p.m. tonight. I did want to mention, because a lot of folks have been talking about it, and I asked our EMA director or EMA director to come by, but I think he's a little busy today. The outdoor warning signals, they go on obviously if there's a tornado nearby, if we have a tornado warning, but they also go off if there's a severe thunderstorm warning with 70+ miles per hour winds and or golf ball sized hail. So that's hail in excess of 1.75 inches. So just so that you all know, the sirens go off for 3 minutes. There is no all clear siren, just to be aware. And I did see a couple comments about, can we turn them up? I'm not sure if we're able to, but the purpose of the outdoor warning signals or sirens are to warn people who are outdoors. So if you don't already have a NOAA weather radio or some other way to get notified of imminent danger or warnings weather-wise, I would suggest that you do that. But I'm glad to hear that everybody's doing okay. So anything else? All right, we will allow claims.
Madam Chair, I'll move to our claims.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions or comments on claims? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. If there's no further business, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion and a second. Congratulations to all the volleyball players. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you very much. And thank you, Nate, for being here to figure this all out.
Hey.